We have Matt from Drill Bit Recyclers in the studio.
I grew up in between France and Italy. Mom's Italian, father's French. Yeah.
So you pull the tungsten tips out.
So the aim when you recycle a drill bit is obviously to remove all these buttons here.
Yep.
Those are made of tungsten carbide, and tungsten carbide is a very valuable material. Some of the drill bits, also the matrix, what we call the matrix, is the steel part of them. They're made of what we call tool steel, or 9310. It's an alloy that's got some special minerals in it that make it more valuable as well. In February 2025, China has banned all exports on tungsten powders.
Welcome back to the Gold Room podcast. We have Matt from Drill Bit Recyclers in the studio. We're going to be talking about the tungsten story. Thanks very much for joining me, mate.
Thanks for the opportunity and the invitation.
Not a problem. Mate, as you know, we start with the life and the time. So you've lived in a couple of different countries?
I grew up in between France and Italy. Mom's Italian, father's French.
Lucky bugger.
I guess we could say that. This is where it started, in between two countries. Mostly grew up in France, and my education was in France too. Pretty standard life. We moved a lot. I traveled a lot when I was a kid. I had the opportunity, thanks to my parents, to see a lot of different places, and this is probably what facilitated my travel to Australia, I guess, 10 years ago.
Okay.
Pretty standard education. I picked up mechanical as a study field because I was interested in it. And I believe in France or in Italy, we ask you very, very early what you want to be doing for the rest of your life. And so I was like, hey, let's go with something that you like. I like cars, I like bikes, mechanical, pretty good way to start. So
Yep.
I did this. I left when I was 18, 19 years old to come to Australia.
With your family?
Without my family, alone.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just didn't see any opportunity for me in France, and the situation I saw was quite deteriorating. I didn't see much opportunity or for growth or the situation getting any better. So I said, hey, let's just take the chance of a lifetime, flip a coin, go to Australia. And so I landed here in Perth because it was the cheapest ticket.
Nice.
Online, and it's been 10 years and I haven't moved from Perth. I visited all the other cities, but
Perth's your favourite?
Perth's my favorite. I mean, I really like Brisbane. Every time I go to Brisbane, you have to pull me back to Perth because I want to stay there. I really love it, but I guess for my business, obviously, most of the mining being here in Western Australia, and Perth is really beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The thing I like about Perth is that I come from a very small town in France. There's like 5,000 of us. You can't go down in town without knowing everybody. And the thing I like here in Perth is that there's obviously a lot more people, but it still feels like a village, you know. You go in town, you're always going to meet someone. If you go out for the day, you're going to see some guy. I went to Costco. I don't know if I can say name, but I went to Costco this weekend, and I bumped into a couple of people I know, and I just love that, you know.
Yeah.
When I go to Sydney, when I go to Melbourne, it's beautiful, it's big, there's big towers everywhere. But it's not for me, you know. And there's something I tell my Australian friends and people when I meet them, say, oh, when you go to Paris, it must be so cool for you because it must be so easy to navigate. I say, well, I am the sort of guy that will ask Chinese tourists for directions in Paris, even though I'm French.
Really?
And they don't believe me, but it's the truth. I just can't navigate big cities because I was just raised in a village, and that's it.
Hey, nothing wrong with us asking a good question.
That's it. And I guess they did more research than I do, so I think they're a good source of tourism inspiration sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I might have to take a leaf out of your book, mate. Start asking asking foreigners some questions.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
You got the Australian passport though, mate?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, beautiful, mate. That's all that counts. Right. Let's get into the spark behind DBR.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was working in my last position as a general manager for scrap metal company here in Perth.
Yep.
And so we were doing, the general scrap that you may be doing: copper, stainless steel, normal steel, anything, aluminium, whatever. And one thing that we saw sometimes was drill bits and tungsten. And that was intriguing at the time, and I got quite intrigued because it's a very expensive material, and the way it got disposed was just like thrown in general steel, And so this is, I mean, tungsten and drill bits and things like that, they were 10, 20 times more than normal steel. And so we got intrigued. We started getting in touch with some drilling companies, mining companies, and we started sort of getting an idea of what was being done with them. And they were being just tossed in the bin, some
In the steel bin.
in the steel bin, yeah, or in the general bin. And some companies were paying to get rid of it, which to me was, what the hell?
Yep.
Then there were some companies, we heard horror stories, like, oh, we had so many drill bits, just dug a big hole, put them in it, buried them, and onto the next site. And so this is when I got the spark, and I was like, you know what? I like the company, I like scrap metal recycling, but I was working like quite a lot of hours. I just recently proposed, so I had a wedding. So I got out of there, went to Italy, got married, took a bit of time to think about what I wanted to do after that, because I wanted to slow down a little bit.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Oh, yeah, well, young fella.
Yeah. So yeah. But so yeah, went to Italy, got married, came back, decided I wanted to slow down, and I actually did the opposite. I went full on. I was like, you know what? There are companies out there, a lot of them, that are throwing millions of dollars in the bin, burying them, throwing them in rubbish. Some people are paying to get rid of something that I would pay them for. And there's a business there, right? So this is how Drill Bits Recycle started.
Beautiful. Let's get into drill bits. What's the hidden value in them? Obviously, tungsten.
Yeah.
So you pull the tungsten tips out.
So the aim when you recycle a drill bit is obviously to remove all these buttons here.
Yep.
Those are made of tungsten carbide, and tungsten carbide is a very valuable material. Some of the drill bits, also the matrix, what we call the matrix, is the steel part of them. They're made of what we call tool steel or 9310. It's an alloy that's got some special minerals in it that make it more valuable as well. So we can separate that and extract more value from it. And the whole idea is to extract more value for our customers. So when they used to recycle drill bits together with steel, we tell them, hey, no, actually, we specialize in drill bits and tungsten recycling. We will extract the value that's in them in order to be able to offer you better rebates for these same products. And usually the answer is pretty positive.
Wow. So you got a large number of clients that would be lining up to take your money.
Pretty much, yeah.
You take their drill bits and they take your money.
That's it, yeah. So at the
What a
moment,
business.
I'm hiring salespersons, business development managers, things like this. And I just tell them, hey, mate, do you want the easiest job in the world? Say, hey, I'm not here to take your money. I'm here to give you some. And so usually the door is wide open, when you come and knock on the door and say, I'm trying to sell you something, it's obviously a bit harder than coming to the door and say, hey, here's money. I want your what you call rubbish at the moment. I'll give you money for. And they're like, okay, yeah, sit down, have a glass of water, tell me more. I want to hear everything about it. So yeah, we do have quite a bit of companies that are waking and using our services. Most bigger companies obviously have a lot of decision makers involved. And what to me and to a lot of other normal, small people might feel normal to do, like it sounds to be a no-brainer, takes quite a few months sometimes to happen. So they, for example, throw the bits away, pay to get rid of them. And I'm like, guys, I will pay you for that, and quite big money. And usually it's in the six figures a year for like bigger drilling companies.
Wow.
Takes up to 6 months for them to say, yeah, okay, we started doing it. Which to me is crazy, like if I learned that I was, like if tomorrow someone comes to my house and say, hey, every plastic you throw in your yellow bin, I'll give you money for. I said, well, give me a bin right now. Like I'm going to do my neighbor's bin as well,
Yeah, exactly.
And so yeah, it's I think it just takes a lot of time. And I mean, for me, it makes sense because it's a lot of money that they're throwing away. But I guess when you're making billions, 6 figures is not so much, so it's okay. There's other priorities.
Well, that's the cost of doing nothing,
Absolutely.
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it is.
You
Yeah.
know? So how do you go out there and approach a drilling company and say, hey,
Well,
listen,
So we're part of the Australian Drilling Industry Association, and we do sponsor some events.
okay,
And I'm a big believer in associations because obviously it's all about getting together, finding
Networking.
best. Yeah, exactly, and finding best practice as well. And I think we have a great opportunity there to go and see all these drilling company bosses and managers and tell them, hey guys, what are you guys doing with your drill bits? Sometimes it's like, oh, that's not a question. Like, we just throw them in the bin. Why? And I say, hey, look, drill bits recyclers, we recycle them. We will give you money for them, right? And they're like, oh, okay, like, how does it work? Is it like, do we have to bring them? Do we have to ship them? And I'm like, depends, like, how many you have. Obviously, if you do a drill bit a month, you can send it through the post with a little letter. But sometimes it's several thousand drill bits, right? So we work out the logistics for them based on their needs. Some sites are very strict on what goes in, how it goes in, who can go in. Some sites are easier to work with, and we just send a truck, collect, pay. But we always aim at making sure that the customer's got a situation that works for them, because I believe it would be counterproductive to try and offer them a solution if they had to go out of their way to make it happen, to make it workable. So what we usually do, we just give them a bin and we say, hey, where do your guys throw the drill bits usually? And they say, we throw them in that bin. I say, okay, we're going to put a bin next to it with a large sign that says drill bits. They can't miss it. Mind you, sometimes they still do.
I can imagine.
But no, we make it easy. So we make it easy to make more money. And most companies, they give this money to charity, local charities. Some of them use it for the Christmas party. When you got 40, 50 employees and all of a sudden you realize that the Christmas party is being fully financed by the fact that you stop throwing drill bits in the bin, but you throw them in the normal bin. Like,
everyone can get behind that.
That is, yeah,
a few
exactly.
extra frothies at Christmas
so
time.
Easy. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite a lot, yeah. So it's just easy money.
Yep.
And my fight, I wake up every day going out there and preaching to people, hey, mate, this is the easiest money you ever made, is right there. Just take the chance. But, sometimes people might think it's too good to be true. So they're going to put it back, do a bit of research, come back a few times. And eventually it's easy to prove, we put a bin down, put drill bits in there, send it to me. The second you got the money on your account, it's like, okay, this is not a crazy story. It really works. And then you just keep doing it.
Let's go into ESG and traceability.
Yep.
So what sort of data is required from the client, or what sort of data do you provide the client?
So every client's got different needs when it comes to ESG, different reports. Might be a form that says how many drill bits they recycled per unit. Might be how many trees are planted due to their action in recycling drill bits. Might be how many kilograms or tons of CO2 have been saved by recycling the drill bits using our services. Because the fact that we extract the tungsten from the matrix and recycle it, obviously tungsten's got a much bigger CO2 impact than steel. So if you
Why is that?
Because it's much, much harder to manufacture. For example, a button for these drill bits than it is to just smelter steel. So steel is much easier to melt than tungsten and to fabricate. Tungsten being the second hardest material in the world.
Next to a diamond being the first, right?
Yes, that's the one. And if you wanted to melt tungsten, you'd need 3,600 degrees Celsius. So it doesn't get melted. It gets ground and resintered into new products. It's much, much harder to work with tungsten than it is with steel, right? And so that's why when it comes to manufacturing, it costs a lot more in CO2 value to manufacture things with tungsten than it is with steel. So when you recycle, it's the same. If we are able to recycle tungsten, there are great savings in CO2 that are being made, and that has values for companies. So we provide any data people may need. We do calculations. So when we're going to be working with a company that gives us, say, 5,000 of them a year, we're going to extract the tungsten from one bit. We're going to weigh it. Then we're going to weigh the steel, and we're going to say, okay, there's 4% tungsten in that bit, and the rest being steel. We know the value for tungsten recycled per kilo in terms of CO2 savings. So we do 4% times that. Quick calculations. End of the day, we give them a report. So some large company we work with at the moment that were doing nothing, now they're doing six figures by saving those and have ESG reporting, which they're really happy with. What we do is simple. Every 3 months, we send them a sheet saying how many kilos, how much CO2 does that translate into, and how many trees planted that equates to. And it's a good story, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like I say, it's
Keep shareholders happy, stakeholders engaged.
It's like forests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mate, what about sovereignty and security? So obviously tungsten being a critical mineral.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, so it's been listed as a critical mineral. Sorry, it has been listed as a critical mineral quite recently, I believe, in February 2025. China has banned all exports on tungsten powders. And the government's been awakening because they use it for defense, we use it for nuclear, we use it for aerospace, we use it for manufacturing, for mining. And from a day to another, the government in China decided, hey, we have 82% of tungsten supplies worldwide, and we are not going to share it with the others. So obviously, Australian government has been reacting in saying we need to find solutions to be able to at least secure new ways of having tungsten. We do mine tungsten in Australia. We have a few mines, but as I said, 82% of it comes from China. Some of it comes from Russia. Some of it comes from the USA. They are not too willing to share. The USA is going all around the world trying to secure tungsten now. They're going to Korea, they're going to Africa. And I think Australia, because of the mining and the amount of mining we do here, and obviously the defense, the strategic needs for tungsten, we need to find better solutions to secure it. So we already have it in big numbers. If we can do our part as a company to make sure it stays in Australia, it gets recycled here, and all critical industries can reuse it rather than depending on insecure markets, then that's a good thing to do, I believe.
So, mate, it sounds like you're right on the cusp of this. Do you have many? Other businesses out there doing the same as you?
So there are a lot of
Much
people.
competition.
There's a lot of people that are chasing tungsten carbide, obviously for its value. I don't believe there are many companies with the vision we have, though. I think they are in for the quick buck, which I can understand. It's very respectable. When you do business, end of the day, it's about money. I would be lying to say the other thing. But I believe in doing business that works for everyone. So the way I like to do business is every time there's a deal that's being made, it works for everyone. So when I go see a customer and I buy drill bits from him, he wins, I win, the Australian government wins, the environment wins. And so there can not be any problem because everybody wins, you know? It's not like other sorts of business where you might be inclined to be a bit greedy or something like that. So we do have competitions, but we really strive to get tungsten recycled here in Australia. And we are collaborating with university professors, with
Here in WA?
Here in WA, yes.
Awesome. What universities?
The Curtin University. So we joined the bid for the CMIC CRC. So it's Critical Industries Cooperative Research Center. So the Australian government's investing $53 million in that CMIC CRC for them to be able to find a solution to secure critical minerals. So not only tungsten, but there are much more minerals that are listed as critical, like germanium, which probably 99.9% of people have never heard about, including me before I joined. And so I've been contacted by the people that are directing this cooperative research center and asked if I wanted to join as a representative for the tungsten recycling. And obviously it's a
Wow.
super university.
That's amazing.
So, and what they do is really great, and they have great resources, great PhD students, very, very, very good professors. And so we committed $500,000 in the next 10 years in research to find a way to bring a circular solution for tungsten carbide for Australia.
To keep it here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing.
Because at the moment, what we face is obviously labor costs. So what a worker costs overseas, for a day is what it would cost me for half an hour here. So it's hard. The way we want to do it, obviously, we want to do it safely. We want to do it in an environmentally friendly way, because there's no point recycling tungsten if we're going to have to spend 3 times the amount of CO2 it's made by mining it. Might as well mine it, if that makes sense.
But also being cost effective for your business.
And it has to be cost effective.
Otherwise, what's the point?
If I'm trying to recycle this thing that you bought for $400, for example, and after recycling it, say, hey, that's made from recycled material, and now it's $5,000. You're not going to be inclined to buy it. Say, hey, that's great, that's lovely, but I get it for cheaper. So we need to find all of these things, and luckily the partner we work with are world class, and yeah, we work with people quite all around the world, really, in finding a solution, whether it's the machinery side of things or the the chemical side of things. Just need to put a solution together, which we, I think, pinpointed already.
Yep.
We need to put a solution together that will allow us to do this, basically.
Okay. What about some success stories? Matt, you must have, you don't need to drop any of your clients' names. Obviously, we want to protect that.
Yes.
But give me a couple of success stories, mate.
Actually, very close to the start of when we established the company, we got approached by a manager on LinkedIn of a listed drilling company, and he told me, hey, why don't you come and see us in our office in Perth and have a chat? So I was like, okay, let's go, let's talk. And I went there, very lovely guy, and we sat down, and he told me, so what's the story? What do you do exactly? And so I explained to him, hey, we get drill bits, we recycle them for the tungsten, and we pay customers. And he told me, we've been throwing them in the bin for like as long as I've been working here, which is years. How much roughly do you pay? Because I guess we've been throwing them in the bin because the value of them wouldn't cover the transport costs. And I gave him an indication of the price. And that's the look I've got a few times. It's the shocked look, to like, how much? What? We've been throwing that much money. And that's when I tell people, don't look at the past, look at the future. Yes, you've been throwing probably millions in the bin. But from now on...
Shit, that's a hard pill to swallow, eh?
It is, yeah. It is. Because, like, end of the day, those things, when you buy them brand new, they have a price. So if you can recover some value from them in the end, it's like getting a discount when you buy them, right?
Yeah.
So now that we've been in a relationship for quite a bit. It's working really well. They're really happy with what we do, and obviously, I think this turn in what they've done with their process has allowed them to make more money for things maybe like charities or their bottom line, ESG savings as well. The yearly report looks better. They do more for the environment.
They would also be able to go back and tell their clients, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if the client's happy, they're more inclined to keep them around.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And it's always a good story to go and say, yo, even our drill bits are being recycled. So like we leave nothing, we leave no stone unturned. We try to really make sure that our sustainability action is quite strong. So I think it's when you go into a tender, it's a small thing, but it might do the difference because obviously today it's all about sustainability and ESG wins and everything like that.
That's exactly right, mate. Let's get into the vision of tungsten recycling here in Australia. What's your vision?
So my vision is obviously a factory here that is able to recycle drill bits locally to be able to reoffer primary products to the industries, especially the defense, the manufacturing, the engineering, mining, with an easy to access product. There is another, you asked me about success story. I've got unsuccessful story. That's the opposite, and that's quite interesting. So I do have a customer that works in the, let's say, engineering field, and they're quite big. And what they do is really innovating. They use tungsten powders, and at the moment, they've been asking me, "Hey, can you help us find tungsten powder because we're struggling?" I was like, how hard can it be? It's been 2 months. I received the sample yesterday. I must have spent 100 hours looking for the products they've been looking for, but since China decided they were not going to sell, it's been absolutely impossible. I mean, you would find some in some countries, but the price defeats the purpose. And the vision I have when I see this and I say, hey, we can go from this to a product that these companies can use in Australia without struggling to try and source it, and for a price that is viable to them. I think that's the vision of Drill Bits Recyclers, a factory that transforms things like these finished products into new products.
Wow, that's amazing. I think you'll do it, mate.
I think so too.
I'll be following closely. Okay, so let's get into a call to action. What are you saying? What are you reaching out to mining companies, drilling companies? And I mean, it's pretty bloody self-explanatory, really, isn't it? Do you want to be paid for your rubbish?
Well, that is it, yeah. So when I see a mining company that is going to extreme lengths to be more environmentally friendly, but still throws drill bits in the bin, I'm like, so you guys are going to have self-driven AI, electric, $1 billion fleets to try and save CO2, which is working, which is an amazing idea, but you're still throwing this in the bin and losing crazy amounts of CO2 savings, ESG reporting, and money. So it's just a simple step. Give us a call, send us an email. We'll come on site, or we'll just have a video call or just a phone call, and we'll tell you what we think you guys should be doing and what you stand to gain. There's no obligation. It's pretty simple. As I said, I'm here to give people money, not to take theirs. So I think
awesome.
It appeals to a lot of people. It's really easy. Most drilling companies, we use IBC pods, those 1,000-liter containers.
Sure do, mate. We'll chuck a picture up of what it looks like.
And you just cut the top open and put the drill bits in it. And when it's full, you give us a call. It's easy to transport, and we'll also recycle the steel and the plastic from the IBC pod. So all of a sudden, you get rid of a pod, which in mine sites are a nightmare, and they just throw them to landfill because they've got millions of them and they don't know what to put them. So we get you rid of rubbish pods and drill bits at the same time, and you get a rebate and you get ESG wins. So yeah, call to action would be start. If you're not already doing it, get into it.
Yeah, wicked. Mate, that's awesome. Look, thank you very much for coming into the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have some closing words that you'd like to throw out there to prospective clients?
I guess you are one phone call away from a great success. So I'm sure my clients and new clients, prospective clients, have done much more for much less. Yep. Give us a call, see what happens.
Mate, what we'll do is we'll put your contact details in the show notes and make sure that we produce some bloody top quality bloody podcasts for you.
Thank you very much. So I can bring more drill bits around. And
Sure can. Awesome, mate. Well, look, once again, thank you very much for taking the time to come in and spend with us. I hope that there's some companies out there. Look, we have had some drilling companies come on the show, and I'll be sure to send out an email and check out if they're currently using you, and if not, push them your way.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for tuning into another episode on the Gold Room podcast. If you're a mining company or a drilling company, make sure you get in contact with Matt. All the information is in the show notes. Cheers.